Hello everyone, this is Vero. Today I'm going to let you in on the ground level of a league we are in the midst of starting right now. I've gotten a bunch of positive feedback so far, and I've got some infographics and I have a document that I will put in the description below. And I just want to talk a little bit about it and give some people a little bit of an idea who might be a little confused or couldn't get all the information. Sometimes it is hard to read it all in text format. So this will be called the SBBQL, or the Story Brawl Questing League. My initial idea for starting the league, as you can see on this info here, is an open league qualifier. It's going to be a 2-week event. Generally, we're going to play about 5 games on a Saturday, 5 games on a Sunday, cut to a top 64 the next weekend, finish that out. Numbers and dates are obviously still in the works, depending on feedback and how many people truly sign up. I understand this is going to be a league that might not be for everybody, and that's all right. But if the league doesn't wind up being for the majority, then we will have to start back from the bottom and figure out how we're going to do it. But going forward, after this open league qualifier, as you see below, we'll be breaking off into 4 leagues. We'll have the Hercules, the Lancelot, Nutcracker, and Brave Princess leagues. So accordingly, as you can see, from tier 6 down to tier 3, we'll have the top 1 to 8 players, 9 to 16, 7, 24, 25, 32. Pretty self-explanatory. People who finish in the 33 to 64 range will be receiving open points, similar to like a player series, to incentivize people to keep coming back to the open series, and also give some of the more, some of the people who are more dedicated and maybe put in a little bit of time, a little bit of a reason to come back, so it doesn't feel like a true grind and a slog trying to get into this league. Because after this initial qualifier, once the league starts up, it'll be a little bit harder to get into. And as you see above, the open qualifiers will then be called the Cinderella Open Qualifiers. Once again, those will generally be about 2-week events, placement games. Yeah, as you see here. You may be wondering, why a lot of games? We specifically for the ground level, we want to play as many games as possible to avoid variance, and also to give players a true chance to show all their skills, not just in a smaller game like you would see in like a blitz style tournament. The league play, as you can see here, will be 5 weeks, but you will only be playing games in 4 of those weeks. The reason for this is, after talking with a bunch of players, it may be hard to commit to playing 5 games 4 weeks in a row and have like no break at all, right? And also just in case things come up. So we'll have 1 week will be an off week. All the leagues will talk amongst themselves and the player liaisons, which I'll get to later, to help decide when and at what times and what dates their games are going to be played. Every player in the league will also be able to designate one alternate player. This alternate player will be able to play for them for 1 week, no more than 1 week. But they'll be able to play for them for 1 week, in case there are scheduling concerns, internet issues, IRL emergencies, things like that. As you can see, we have the tentative point breakdown here. We wanted to still reward first, while also not making it too strong. And then also we wanted to reward fourth a little bit over fifth, and that's where you see the second point drop off. So, as I said, they'll be playing games, about 5 games per week. We're going to try to aim for Saturday, Sunday, but it might be staggered throughout the week depending on what the players come up with. I want to be very flexible with what is best for our players, and that may change from league to league. We may have a bunch of European players in a certain league, or we may have a bunch of West Coast NA players, and we're going to try to be as flexible as we can. And ultimately, this is why we have the off week, and this is why we have the alternate players. Coming down, so after these weeks of games are played, we're going to have a point standing, first to eighth, so on and so forth. Pretty self-explanatory. From there, we're going to have our playoff structure. And our playoff structure is going to be 3 tiered cups: Prize Pig, Pollywog, and Humpty. These are just tentative names, but so far we like them. And we are going to be taking people from each bracket. So for the Prize Pig Cup, we would have first to fourth in the Herc League being the highest league, first and second to the Lance League being the second tier, and then the first place from the Nutcracker and the Brave Princess League being the quote-unquote bottom, more bottom leagues. And then the Pollywog Cup, as you can see here, I'm not going to go through all these, but you can see how they're broken down. And then to make it a little more spicier, because these are for the playoffs, so most of the prizes and progression system that we have will be based off your ladder placings. But we also wanted to add something a little spicy at the end, both for the lower players to come up and play with the quote unquote big dogs and show what they got, and also just to reward higher placings and to build storylines, rivalries, things like that. So for the cup, you'll actually, depending on which league you come from, you'll actually start with a little bit of an advantage or disadvantage. And some people might say, why would you do that? Why would you say it? Like I said, most of the prizes and the progression systems will be based off your league performance, performing against your peers at equal level. This is something we do at the end to reward both the viewers and the players with something a little more exciting, a little bit of bragging rights, and I have plenty of cool prizes and ideas, coming in the works, so to speak. But yeah, as you can see that all here, it's all broken down. And yeah, and then those will just be played out. As you see, we're also going to an 11-point system, so pretty much no player will be able to win first back to back and just end it. There'll be at least 3 games played minimum, which helps kind of get that. It's like there will be at least a game where 2 people will most likely be live. So make it a little more interesting. Going down here, this is just the promotion structure. So as you see, if you finish 7th or 8th in the Herc League, you would be demoted. If you finish 1st or 2nd in the Lance League, you'd be promoted. As you can see here, it goes back and forth. The only difference being the bottomest league, if you finish in the bottom 4, you'll be kicked back to the Open Qualifiers, and the top 4 from the Open Qualifiers will actually be able to be put into the Brave League. Only other caveat to that is in the lowest league, the Humpty Dumpty League, we're going to have 1st and 2nd from the qualifiers get a chance to compete against people who have been players who have been in the league for a month, 2 months, 3 months, depending on how long this league hopefully goes and how long, the consistency of players is. So I didn't want to make this video too long, but if you have any questions, concerns, ideas, or you want to be on board and help out with this and get in on the ground level, I'm going to have all that information attached in the link below. There's a Google form that you can fill out both for players or just people who want to be involved in this league, and then also for comments, feedback, anything of the such. And once again, I understand this league may not be for everybody, and it may be hard with the time zones, but we are trying to be as flexible, malleable as we can to get this working how we want to. We understand this might not be for everybody, and tournaments are going to be working in conjunction with this, your standard tournaments, 1-2 day events, but we wanted to have something more rigid in structure and consistent both for the players and for the viewers. It's hard to watch a tournament once a month and then all the viewership and the interest kind of trickles away. So we wanted to keep something consistent over time, both for players to be engaged in the game and not just practice for one tournament, log off, barely play for a few weeks. Oh, another tournament comes. So that's what we're trying to avoid here, while also making it fun and engaging for both, like I said, players and viewers. Once again, I am Vero. I'm on Discord. I am on Twitter. I'm all over. But feel free to message me. I'm always down to talk, especially over voice chat. We could open up streams if you have any ideas. But yeah, thanks for listening, and I hope this is something that will interest you, or at least somebody you know. Thank you. Bye.